Oh, it's you. I'll take it back.
No, that's one of them ones. You've got to look very carefully and go, is it? What side does it swing on? The wee valley. I wasn't sure of what way it was going there.
5, 6 is open, 7.
8's open, 9.
8's open. It's only if I've got 2 trades I have to remember. 9.
So how did you manage to get the decks thinner?
New ones.
I'm saying they're 10 times better than the first ones and stuff.
They don't just snap either.
That's what I mean, they'll probably save you money, never mind the hassle for us trying to shuffle and nail them. You know.
Have you noticed the thing on it now?
That's what I'm saying, they're bendable, you can shuffle them, you can do anything.
That's
what I'm saying, them other ones you shuffled them 3 times.
Can you start?
What's that?
Can you start?
Yeah.
go on.
Your business, my business. Buddy.
Do you know what? When I came off that table for breakfast that year, I was back thinking 4, 5, 6, thinking everything's Omaha this side of the night. Now I've just looked at them like Andes, and then I've realised it's 9 players. I'm like, ah, right, so we're playing Texas, I guess.
My back was getting sore by that movement there, my back's getting sore.
My hands will get sore, my hands going to cramp feeling 6 kid for, no, that was a good 2.5 little stint in there. That's what it felt like anyway. Because I got a break quick when the not went, and then it was a session then like that. That's why I was like that with the horn cure. job of it. I'll do that last week. This one.
Can I have your attention please? Main event players, you have 3 minutes remaining on your break. You're welcome to retake your seat. Still players in today's main event, 3 minutes remaining on your break.
Kitchen nonsense. Is it that all week? I've never get these things.
Can I see that? Lauren said it's fine. Drop my table one. No, never in life. I do better in life than poker. I do have one at poker, but I mean, I do better in life. I'll tell you, because I just doubled up to the very last round. I'm lined up like
He was in skip last night.
Can I have your attention please? This is the final call for main event players to retake your seat.
Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David, the Haymaker.
And I wanted to be the guy to hold up that belt and to be the world heavyweight champion. And I believe I've achieved great things.
It's time to hang up the gloves and retire as a professional boxer.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
So he's not lost a shilling.
I think he had a shave or something. I think he's lost a stone.
Players and dealers in the back.
What are you doing? Just eating right back in the gym?
400, 800, 100 anti. 481, please begin to deal.
At the start, I was massively on it. And when I knew he wasn't bothering me, it's like motivation. I wish he was like really trying hard to push on a bit, we've got a month left till the weigh-in, so we're talking about negotiating like a new bet for the last month, so it's like
So you can get out of it.
maybe, yeah.
Look at the, if you need to do something, just go running out the doors.
Who we got, Jay? Evening, everyone. Who we got, Jay? Table for the final session of the day. In seat 1, Fred's back. Fred Mayer. Fred. Seat 2, passport winner, David G. Seat 3, Chris Perevska. Seat 4, Ben Windsor. Seat 5, Richard Hasnett. Seat 6, Dan Corbett. Seat 7, the Colonel. Seat 8, Mitch Johnson. And in seat 9, Jack Oliver. Jack Oliver, one to watch. One to watch is Jack Oliver. Didn't he final table 3 events at the Student Championships last year? All at the same time. And also cashed in beans. And speaking of Jack, it's all in first hand. Wow. Back after the break. And David with the same hand.
quite close to the start.
That'll do.
Yep, chop it up.
So Jack had a great 2018 and the end of 2017 as well. Second in the 25-25 Luton. He final tabled the student championships. He was bubbling the high roll on the final table. He was 14th in the Goliath. He went to Vegas and cashed in the Millionaire Maker. Lad has got talent.
I had a roulette bet I had. No one paid me. Alright. Pound. I had a last minute on the roulette. I won like easily. It's both. They should have paid me £1 each.
Because then you got too much money. Not anymore. Depends on nappies.
Nappies, yeah, nappies and wipes. Buying by the pallet load. I bought a second house. They won't let me play the Texas games.
They won't.
What?
So a brand new table. Looking forward to the final session of the day.
Blinds now 4 and 8.
400, 800, running ante of 100. Folding all the way around at this moment in time. To Jack in C9 with Queen Jack off.
He's playing 21 bigs. Yeah, perfectly fine to come in for a still attempt here with the Queen Jack. Folded to him in a late position.
Makes it 1 point. Can't make it 1.3. It's mine's a 4.8. No, makes it 18. Fred gets out of the way. Ben Windsor, who's been here, done it, got the t-shirt. And another quality player. Calls with King 4. Queen 8-6 is the flop. Top pair for Jack.
About 1.2k. You expect Ben to fold, given his stack size, and that he's completely whiffed this flop.
That's exactly what he does. Cash for over £1 million, Ben Windsor. Also into Cyprus. That Cyprus seems to have been quite popular. Maybe we should take a look on the map to see what is happening in Cyprus.
Never been Cyprus.
Not me neither.
Somewhere I've never ventured to.
Yeah. Then, two-time winner, GUKPT circuit.
Yeah, Warsaw and the grand final.
Yeah. Also in 2014, 4 years ago now. The year after the grand final for Chunks. And just before, and in the middle of it, the WPT in Nottingham in the 500. What a player. I want to know what the Richie Rich Cup is down in Margate. I want to know.
It's terrible. They used to go everywhere.
So back to the action. And raise and take it from Fred with the ace-10.
You've never been to Wales?
No, I've never been to Wales. No.
Oh no, you said earlier when Cardiff was up here. Never been to Wales, never been to Cyprus.
I've been quite a few places. But,
been to Broxbourne though.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
No, I've been Margate. No, I actually went Margate for a Beano this year in August. Went down to Margate late August this year.
Is that when you did your Liam Gallagher impression on the beach?
No, that was Great Yarmouth in February of this year. Yeah, no, Margate was August of this year. I had a good time. Really fun.
We've also got defending champion sat in seat number 6, Daniel Corbett, who not only won this event last year, went to Vegas in the summer and final tabled one of the biggest events they have, the Monster Stack. Came 5th for $250,000.
Dave G, pocket aces, makes it 1.8 to go.
And that's the passport winner, David G.
And Ben, all in with the King Jack suited.
Wow.
Yeah, no, perfectly fine here from Ben. Dave's going to be opening up quite a wide range in the hijack. Just moves in all over the top of it, but just run into it here.
Yeah, Ben's at risk and knows it. It'll probably be a re-entry tomorrow. Yeah, it's looking like.
So running,
we'll see you tomorrow.
Running 2 pair or running straight needed, or running trips.
Well, that's actually going to give him
yes,
4 outs.
Giving him 4 outs now. Queen would save Ben.
It's giving 4 outs with the Queen. Oh! Wow, and he does get there with perfect. Oh, man. As soon as David hit a set of aces, he says, well, that gives you more outs. Oh, man. Wow.
Sick one for David G.
Well, I was saying he's going to have a re-entry. He's now up over starting stack and back in the game. Ben wins it. Nice one, Nige. See you tomorrow. Oh, put your sweet order in now. Put your sweet order in now. We'll be off to bed and then do a little shopping in the morning. What should we have? I don't know. What do you fancy?
I'm caught on the spot now.
What do you like?
Oh, anything sweet really. I'm not going to lie.
Well, what shall we have? What shall we have? I think it'll just have to be some jellies, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, Nige. Just surprise us. Surprise us.
See,
just do a little selection and surprise us tomorrow.
Yeah. Thanks, Nigel. We'll see you in the club tomorrow. Make sure you're here. We'll see how busy it is. News on Dave Seeger. He busted the Omaha and he's playing the main event tomorrow. So that's news on Dave. He was sat with Nathan, who was being eliminated. Who else was being eliminated on that table? What else was it? Who else was looking at? I don't know. Nathan Slater had been eliminated. If you want to drink with a smile, Isabella works behind the bar all the time, smiling at everybody. Sometimes. No, but Dave Seeger is playing tomorrow. So, yeah. So. So King Jack against Ace Jack. We're all in pre. David is now all in with Ace Jack.
So Dave in front again. This time needs to fade a king for a double up.
He's not feeling too confident, is he? You can tell.
You can tell.
Mitch Johnson, the King Jack. They both hit the Jack. But we are in front.
Well, now we need to fade an ace or a 9.
An ace or a 9. It's a queen. Queens and jacks with an ace win.
So Dave gets a double up back up to 15k.
Swings and roundabouts in this game.
I just seen the plate and I was like, yeah. I'm alright, he's the only player I've done alright against. Good fake tell that one,
So we lose a big chunk with aces for David G, and then he gets a double up ace jack against King Jack. Good evening, Mr. Gilbert. How are you? Nice to see you when Jan came in. Jan Kavanagh came in on Tuesday night to see quite a few other players.
Ian Wildhorse, table 26 from 1 Texas, that's Ian 26.
So we saw Fred getting eliminated earlier on the day. He then re-enters after finishing 5th in the mini-main, buys himself in and sat in seat 1 again on the feature table, but this time with 65,000. Mitch Johnson on 100,000. That's with one of the chip leaders in the room. Actual chip leader is Clive Macy on 185,000. Lee Dillon 140. Mitch on 107. Andy Garland on 105. The elderly maniac. And Ben Marigetts, who we saw earlier on the feature table as well, he's on 100,000, and Yusuf Erdem, who had the 4-way all-in, is on 90,000.
How are you, lad? You good?
News in the chat box, a little bit delayed, has been very busy. Yep, I know. You've been a busy guy. Looking at confirming Cav Cup 5 very soon. You heard it here first. We definitely did. Somebody asked earlier on, it was Alan Lamont that was asking if there was any news on the Cav Cup, and nobody had any idea, which is good news. Cav Cup 5, news on the horizon. People will be watching social media.
Mark Rutherford, table 26 in the card room from 1 Texas, that's Mark Rutherford, table 26.
So we'll be watching social media to find out about the intentions of the CAF Cup. Thanks for the information, Rick.
Aaron Fletcher and Morris Samuels, please. Table 23.
So good to have Para on the table, Chris Paraskiva, local player to us. David in seat number 2, David G, the passport winner. Flop 2 pair. You check cold. And it looks like it might check raise this. Yeah, the lot. And it'll be a fold from Parrot, snap fold. There you go. Knows what he's doing. It's folded.
Because they know they hate the card.
TV screens anyway. This one's those characters because it's automatic stuff. TV. That's exactly what I was thinking. Rest 2K.
If I don't see you next week, I'll see you now every week. Unless you want to do a little bit. So I'll see you the week after.
So the final session of the day. They were just coming back from the break. This is level 9. There are 45 players left out of the 108. And chip leader at this moment in time was 185,000.
Hey.
Yes, please.
Flop of ace, 4, jack. And a bet from Fred, and it is a winner, and he scoops in more chips. Eight with the 1 on the blinds. No big blind ante on the GUKPT, so the communal ante it is. Board of 7, deuce, 5, 5, 4. Rich Hasnip. That's 2.5 on the river with the deuce, 2 pair, and it is good. So Mitch, 100,000. The Colonel down at the bottom.
So 10 bigs, King Jack under the gun, should be moving all in, but the colonel just makes it 3k. And that's going to get the job done. He's going to pick up lines and antes.
So 4-8 with the 1. Level number 8-9. Level 9 of the day. We play 10 levels, so we finished the live stream around about 1:25, 1:30 in the morning.
Folds round to Ben in the cutoff. Opens 9-4. Colonel defence 5-4 of hearts. Flop of ace, deuce, 10. And Ben continues, and we see a pretty quick fold.
So just catching up with the action tracking. Moves all the way around to C5. He folds as well, but still action tracking all the way around. Round to the Colonel. It's folded all the way down. Small blind, big blind. The Colonel makes it up. Mitch moves all in. The Colonel can't.
Yeah, just 8 bigs now for the Colonel. Gonna need to find a spot to get them in pretty soon.
Yeah, no, it's just random on the side. Just random number. As you get a level each,
Decent day today, Jay. Decent day to start proceedings with the main event.
Yeah, it's been good. Every session, a good featured table. Lots of notable names being seen on stream at some point today. So it's been a good watch, and still just over an hour and a half left to go. Halfway through this level, so a level and a half left of play today. Then we are back tomorrow. If you have been tuned in today, you can catch us tomorrow from 1:30. We start here on stream.
Mitch does it again. In effect, it's just isolation for the Colonel. Colonel's got 10-8 on the button. Third in this 3 years ago. Needs help.
It's actually one of the better hands he wants to see here. He's not dominated, he has 2 live cards.
70-30.
So just a 10 or an 8 or running spades. And that will seal the deal.
He'll tap the table. He'll say good luck everybody. A little bit of overkill on the river. The Colonel, Arthur Harvey, has been eliminated. Unlucky Arthur. Very unlucky.
In open feature, 6-7.
In open feature.
So David G started the session with 20k, had that brutal beat with the aces, left himself with 6k, but he's back up to 20k. As he opens ace queen, makes it 1.6 to go. Dan with ace jack in the cutoff. Three bet to 4k. Action back on David here, playing a stack of 25 bigs. And now Fred has cold called the 3-bet from Dan. So if I'm David here, with all this dead money in the pot, sub 25 big blinds, I could just see this going in. It's all down to, we're not worried about Fred here. It's all down to how light we think Dan would be 3-betting and how often. David thinks he's going to be 3-betting enough at hands with crush and rightly moves all in, just over 25 big, sorry. I like to play a lot. Because if it gets through, increases his stack by 50%.
So the defending champ does get out of the way. And Fred with king, queen suited, snap folds as well.
Nice play from David there with the ace queen. A lot of players might look at that spot, be like closing the action. I've only got to put in 10% of my stack to see a flop with ace queen of hearts, but the flip side, if we move in and get 2 folds, we increase our stack by 50%, and even when we are behind or are dominated in the spot, we'll still get there 30% of the time. So all them factors put together, it makes it a nice jam spot there for David. He took a nice one down.
Sure.
So the very next hand, Dan woke up with aces, facing an open from Ben under the gun +1. Three bets again, this time to 5.4k. And it looks like David G in the big blind with a legitimate decision here, unaware of his hand. Oh, okay, he thought Fred still had cards, and our action back on Ben with the pocket fives. And Ben makes the call, heads up to the flop. Flop a 6, 4, 3. So Ben flopping an up and down to go with his pair. Dan still an overpair to the board, the nut overpair, as well as backdoor nut flush draw. So both players are going to be liking this flop. So bet from Dan and a call from Ben. Ten of clubs on the turn. Ben checks once more, and now Dan less than a pot size bet behind. I think we only see one move here with the pocket aces. And there it is. And Ben makes a quick fold with the fives. And rightly so as well. Snap fold. Didn't even think about it. So about 20 minutes left on the clock for this level, and then we'll be moving into the final level of play for today. Side event now down to 2 tables, the Omaha. 14 players left in that. As we see Ben open the 3s under the gun, free bet from Fred, and Fred's going to take that one down with the ace jack. Ball around to Jack in the hijack with ace 10. Makes it 1.7k to go. Fred, ace 6 of diamonds, makes the call. David G, ace 6 of spades on the button, into the muck. Chris, 7-6 of clubs, makes the call, and Ben with a jack 10 of spades here, and a stack of just over 20 bigs, all this dead money out in front of him. He's obviously never folding, it's just whether he wants to take the higher variance approach and move all in, or just make the call and play post flop. He elects for the latter. See a flop of Queen 3-3. And it checks the whole way round. 10 on the turn. So now both Ben and Jack turn 2 pair. Jack with the best of it has Ben out kicked in this spot. Does also bring in a nut flush draw for Fred. Bet 2.5k from Jack. See a raise to 8k from Fred here with nut flush draw. It's going to be, it puts Jack in a really weird spot with ace 10. He probably expects Fred to continue all his queen X on the flop, especially into 3 people. Don't want to let a 3-1 roll off, so Jack's probably going to discount a lot of queen X from Fred's range. And then 3x, he shouldn't have too much 3x in the cutoff, calling an open from the hijack. Only real hands at ace 3 suited. We have the ace of hearts in our hand, so there are actually 2 combos of ace 3 suited out there. But other than that, there's not much else he's repping here. And then he can have diamond draws for bluffs, hands like Jack 9 suited, King Jack for an up and down. So let's see if Jack figures this one out. It is for his basic tournament life here. We can say Jack with just 11.6k behind. So if he makes the call, he would still have chips behind, but it's a tough spot.
I think he calls. I think he thinks about it. He makes the call.
Just Fred just don't look like the type of player to check back a queen on the flop. So yeah, like it, love it. Like he's just figured it out. He's figured the spot out, and he realised he's just saying if you've got ace 3 suited, good game.
So we do call with a flush draw. Fred with the ace 6 of diamonds. Jack has a big chance to double up and get to 35,000. Jack's not looking. And the 5 of hearts. And Jack Oliver does double up off Fred Mayer in seat number 1.
Yeah, he did. He could have done this.
Yeah, cool Craig. Would have left himself 3k just calling, so yeah, it was effective, like calling.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I didn't. I weren't looking at the stack side of Jack Oliver.
Yeah, 11k behind, 8k to call.
Yeah, 11,000 he had in total, so he had to be a jump. 39 players left. 39.
But Broker figured it out.
And there's 15 left in the Omaha. Yep, with 11 spots paid.
Down to 2 tables in the Omaha.
Yeah, 39 in the main event. We've got 2 levels to go tonight. Oh, just under 90 minutes as it is now.
6,000.
Yusuf had 90,000 at the last break. 90. It was up to 110 really early, but still got 90,000 and still well above average stack, which is 56,000.
So Chris opens the pocket 8s on the button. Richard defends the big with a 9-7 suited. Better 2k from Chris. Richard makes the call. King on the turn.
$6,000 out of a stack of 15. Yeah, flips it in the muck. Well played, Chris.
So around 10 minutes left now before blinds go up for the final time today.
So much different when it's all different game, you know. Every hand I look at 9 seconds.
Mitch Johnson raises it up, makes it 18. All the way around to Dan in the big blind with 40,000, defending champion. He calls the 1k, flop a 3, 4, 5, 2 hearts.
So both players flopping a wheel draw. Dan's still with the best hand. And Dan with the only heart as well.
There it is, but it's a heart. Free rolling, Dan Corbett, seat number 6.
Not only is he free rolling in this spot, Dan, he can credibly have a lot more 6x than Mitch can opening under the gun. So he can apply a lot of pressure to sort of the ace-x that Mitch will have a lot of the time opening under the gun. It's a 7 on the river, so I'd like to see Dan come in for quite a chunky bet here with the ace-queen. A lot better to add 18k to your stack than it is 9k. Expect Mitch to continue all his flush draws on the flop. So you can plausibly have some flushes, but not many. We have the Queen of Hearts in our hand. But Dan now just elects to check and didn't go for it, and they're going to chop this one up.
Chop it up. Heading towards the final level of the night.
Set up perfectly.
Where's Fred going? Hey, oh, where's Paddy going? Ben wakes up, Ben Windsor picks up. This King moves all in. 20 bigs.
And Dan.
And yeah, here's King. Let's chop it up, please.
Yeah, it's a brutal way to bust. If you end up busting like this. And just the free roll for Dan. Needs to find a diamond on the turn to make that free roll possible. And that will be that. Chop it up.
Chop it up, baby. Chop it up. Can't play the main event tomorrow and you want to play an event, the Bounty is on at 9 PM tomorrow. It's a late one because it'll be a busy one in the main card room.
Open from Fred under the gun. David with pocket jacks makes the call. And Jack is going to defend the big.
Have your attention, seat open for Kenneth Bob, table 27, dealer's choice, 10 Bob.
See a flop of Queen Jack 4. Middle set for David, Fred with an up and down straight draw, Jack with a gut shot. And a big bet here from Fred, bet 6k. So he's bet pot here with his up and down straight draw. Let's see how David reads into this, because a lot of the time when you get recreationals sort of betting pot on such a dry board texture, a lot of the time it's heavily weighted towards like top pairs and over pairs. Has like ace, queen, kings and aces here. So if David reads into it like that, he may elect to start going for value now, thinking that Fred's not going to fold any of those holdings. And there it is, there's the all-in.
Indeed it is,
and,
there it goes.
Not going to get action, but David's read exactly into that pot size bet. Exactly how I would have read into it as well, and I probably would have made the same play, just thinking that he's never going to be passing ace, queen, aces or kings in this spot. But now Fred's got an easy fold.
Seat open for Rob Scott on the 2-2 PLO, table 23. Rob Scott.
He's not insta-passed here, Fred. We really don't want to let this up and down go. And if he does make the call here, this is actually the worst possible hand for David to see when the cards are on their back. A lot of the time he's going to have Fred drawing to 2 outs or Nyon drawing there, the hands like ace queen, that king queen. But Fred shouldn't be calling, should just be going into the muck. But having a hard long think about this one.
So the total's 27,000. Fred's trying to work out what it would leave him.
And this all stemmed from the pot size bet on the flop. If Fred makes it normal size, like 2.5k, I don't think David jams here.
If you've got your name on the list for a 1-1 and hold them game.
He makes the call.
Wow, he's made the call, and David's going to be steaming when he sees the hand. Look, he knows he needs to fade 8 outs now for a 60k pot.
He makes the call.
Not the hand he wanted to see. Well, wasn't the hand he was expecting to see.
So, the
that's
passport winner does it all on the turn.
Done. Game over.
Thank you very much, he says. Phew.
David up to 60k.
And David G, final table in Leeds, was it?
Yeah, final table, second in Leeds. Lost heads up to Adam Owen. He did.
That's right.
That was the Malou show final table.
It was indeed.
Yeah, Craig, it's making that call there, you're losing a lot of money. Whether you get there or not in the long run, you're going to be losing chunks if you're calling in spots like that. It's a pretty easy fold after the jam from David. But some players on a rainbow board, if they've got an up and down, they know if they make their straight, they're good.
Yeah.
They just don't want to let go.
Big call from Fred Mayer, gets him back into the pack. Big call from Mr. Fred. Well, here's the race for Mitch, and Jack moves all in with his snowmen.
Yeah, 33 bigs, button open from the big stack. We've got pocket eights in the small. 33 big blinds shove. Blinds are now up. We're playing 500, 1,000.
Well, he makes a call with King Queen. Makes a call. The last level of the evening, and everybody's going nuts, mate. 8-9-3 is a pretty decent flop.
That's that.
For the 8s.
10 Jack, the only way that the King Queen can get there.
Perfect.
Has to be 10 Jack.
That will do it. 7-8 for Jack. Turns into a house.
Table 1 in the card.
And Jack Oliver has chunks.
Yeah, just from putting his last 11k in with the ace-10 in that spot earlier on. We saw him in a very tough spot, Jack, and he broke the hand down well, made the right decision, doubled up, and now he's just doubled up again. And chip leader at the table, up to 70k. Yeah, see if I agree. Speak to David quite a bit off of the table. Really nice fella, really genuine guy, easy to get on with, and plays well at the tables as well. Really good guy, David.
So the blinds up, 500, 1,000, running ante of 100, the last level of the day.
2,200.
So Richard opens, 10-9 suited, makes it 2.2. Holds all the way round to the big blind, and David defends the Jack-8. Both players catch a piece. Richard with the best of it. It's 2k. David makes the call. 4 hearts on the turn. Doesn't change anything. What it does change, though, I expect Richard to check back now after betting flop. I expect him to check back here with middle pair. But no, he's going for another barrel here. And that gets the job done. It's just the second barrel. A lot of the time we just only get action a lot of the time from sort of King X and maybe some better 10X. Yeah, some combo draws we can get to call, but then again we don't fare too well equity-wise against them. But Richard takes that pot down, chips up. As we're slowly approaching the end of the day, everyone. We've had some really good featured tables on show today. So Mitch opening 6-5, suited in the hijack. It's called by Fred on the button with 10-8 suited. And Chris makes the call in the big with pocket threes. We see Mitch continue here for 2.8k. And Chris makes the call. Turn is a 4, so both players pick up and down now. Turn goes check, check. Jack on the river, check, check once more, and Mitch going to take this one down.
Hi! I've just seen Dave Maudlin sat at the bar. I've also seen Chris Cunliffe sat at the bar. And I've also seen John Higgs at the bar. Can't miss John Higgs. Colonel, as we saw, went out. They're the latest eliminations. Andy Hill's still flying the flag with passport winner David G. Down to 35.
Is that what we've got left? 35?
35, yeah. And the Omaha is down to 12. That means the bubble. Oh no, they're paying 12. Everybody's in the money.
Must have done a bubble deal. Must have done a bubble deal.
Do you think?
Yeah, there was definitely 11 paid.
And now there's 12.
Now there's 12. Yeah.
Well done, everybody. You're in the money.
Beavers and Kimber out, or are they still in?
Oh, Jeff went home hours ago.
Okay.
I saw him wandering across the road to the Venetian.
Venetian. 10-7-4 flop. Ben with a gut shot, and ace high of Mitch is the best hand at the moment. Everyone completely whiffed this board. 4 on the turn. Now Ben going to start bluffing here with just 8 high. Better 2K. Mitch makes the call to the river, which is the Queen of Clubs. So now is Ben going to fire the second bullet? No, he gives up.
Yeah. I have 8 high. I have ace high. Mitch calling on the turn. So we're heading to the end of play. Just under an hour to go. We normally pause the clock with around 10 minutes to go. We shout a certain number of hands.
Usually 6.
And 1 to 3 is 6.
1 to 3.
If you're on a gamble, if you want to have a gamble, 6 is 1 to 3.
I wouldn't even lay it.
No, it's incredible how many times it comes out. It really is.
Tin open from Dan with ace jack. David makes the call with pocket 9s. Rich comes along in the big. Flop of ace 8 deuce, 2 diamonds. So Dan flopping the best of it here. Flops top pair. Bet at 2.4k. Action on David here. Okay, Rich isn't actually in this hand, it's just a heads up pot this.
Yeah, Richard's hand is not even in the hand. I don't know where the checks come from Richard. Although he's not seeing that he's not in the hand. No. He should press a full button now, to be fair. With a card behind.
5 of diamonds on the turn. Check, check. Looks painty on the river. Jack of diamonds, so David makes a flush on the river. And checks back and going to pick that pot up. Backdoors into a flush. So just letting the graphics catch up, everyone, and then we'll be back to the action. 45 minutes left on the clock for today, so about 50-55 minutes left of the day.
Big case. I can read it. Gary says 5 hands, that's what it's going to be. Well, a lot of time away from the hands, to be fair, so we'll give you the shout when it happens. You'll hear it on the announcement in the back. You're looking at the overview from the feature table. What a great shot that is, by the way. Heading towards the end of level 10 and the end of day 1A. Back again tomorrow. The team are back from 1:30 on the live stream. A full 10 levels, a full 12 hours of poker for tomorrow and Saturday, and then the final on Sunday when we crown a champion. Can finish at any time.
Chris, ace 5 of diamonds, makes it 2k. Playing a stack of 17 big blinds here, UTG +2. And does get that one through. David G.
Raising it up.
He's at 2.2. Mitch, pocket sevens on the button. He'll be calling. He should be calling. Definitely will not be folding. Perfect hand to call here against the UTG Open.
Oi, oi. Savaloy.
Action on Jack. Spain didn't make this like 9k here, maybe even a bit bigger. Out of position. 11k. Very large size. 5.5x.
Can we call?
I'm letting it go, always here, Mitch. Yeah, we are on the button, but just putting in 5.5 bigs with sevens, and a lot of the time we're going to be crushed and going to need to flop a set. But this is a board texture that can usually get us into a lot of trouble. We do have the best hand here in this spot. So, bet of 5k.
Moves out with the ace king. Mitch's pretty confident he doesn't have the 3 or 4 in his range, probably. So he calls. That might make a difference. We'll just put him on king, queen, ace, queen, queen 10 kind of hand.
Yeah, straight away now, Jack can start defining Mitch's range. A lot of the time, he's going to have hands like ace king as well, and then hands that are like 5s through jacks. If he's calling 7s, he's probably calling 5s.
Surge to the card room, please. Surge.
So it's whether he wants to go for the 3 barrel, because sometimes double barrel won't get it done, unfortunately, and you're going to have to unload the clip if you want to tell a convincing story that you've got the goods.
A bet of 21,000.
And this is probably the main problem with it as well. Calling such a large 3-bet out of the small with a hand like pocket sevens. The times we don't make our set, we're going to just put ourselves in so many gross spots. The pot's already going to be bloated, and we're just going to get in a lot of sticky situations that aren't going to be easy decisions with pocket sevens.
Well, he's making the call, so he doesn't put him on a said queen.
And that's
a great card for the sevens as well.
Now, we said on the turn, if Jack was firing a double barrel, he's got to be prepared to fire the third barrel when you think about the range of hands Mitch has. Because it's either shut down on turn, shut down river for me, or you've got to move all in on this river. If we're barreling turn, we've got to be barreling river as well to fold out those range of hands, the pocket pairs that are going to call us on 2 streets. And wow, Jack's just given up.
Yeah, check.
Check.
There's king. I have sevens.
Yeah.
Nice pot for Mitch.
It's important, sort of on the turn there, to know when you are double barreling that you're going to need to 3 barrel to try and fold out like the 5s through jacks, if you like, of Mitch's range. You should never really have a queen in there, Mitch, unless you just build the flop with ace queen and spike the queen on the turn. But wouldn't mind a shutdown on the turn either. But I think bet turn, check river would have been my last option. Giving up on turn would have been fine, and firing 2 streets on both turn and river would have been fine as well. So Mitch takes a pretty large pot there, puts him back to chip leader at the table.
Around about 40 minutes to go until the end of the day. The clock will pause at some point. A certain number of hands will be dealt on every single table left in. There's 33 players left in.
And Fred gets his last
14.
Yeah.
And he's going to walk straight into the ladies.
And not in a good way.
Walk straight into the ladies of David G, the passport winner. Yeah, so we're all in. Snapfall from Jack, pretty standard raise on the button, but he had to get out of the way. Queens for David G against Fred Mayer's ace 9. Fred was chip leader. Or second in chips as he comes to this table with 65,000. He's all in for his last 14. Does he hit to get back in the game? King 6 deuce.
So drawing to running hearts or an ace, and that is it.
Oi oi.
There's one of the hearts.
Oi oi. Interesting. And it isn't. It's kings and queens for David G. Takes out Fred Mayer. Unfortunately, twice on the feature table, Fred Mayer's been eliminated.
Yeah.
Unlucky Fred.
Look at this table now, 7-handed. This is one 7-handed table. I probably wouldn't like that.
Seed open feature has just been shouted.
You would have been steaming upon it with queens.
32 left. The Omaha's on a break and they're down to 10. In fact, they might be on the final table.
No, final table 7-handed.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, of course it is, Omaha. but they are down to 9.
It's alright, you'll get jacks or something, but don't worry about it.
Whenever they pause the clock and shout the hands, it'll be shouted around the main event area. 5 cash tables running, Omaha running, main event running. How different do you think players play when they're on the feature compared to when they're not?
Personally, Craig, I think, well, sort of the regs that play most of these tournaments, like the better players, they'll usually play the same way that they do on the feature as they would off. But I think some of the sort of less experienced players to a feature table, recreational players, sometimes they may tend to get a bit more sticky because they don't like to don't like to get bluffed, as we've seen. So they may tend to cool down a bit lighter.
I'd loosen up. I'd even play Ace Queen.
Yeah, even Ace Queen now. Suited. There we go. But yeah, that's what I tend to find anyway. It doesn't really change much for me. I've noticed it don't really change much for too many players. But when people are quite inexperienced, which in the 1K shouldn't happen too often, you shouldn't get many players that are just hopping onto a feature table first ever 1K. Sometimes players do tend to get a bit more sticky because they want to be bluffed on stream. And the other thing as well, which is quite rare, although you've got the gimmick that people want to shaft their friends and run some huge bluff, but people tend not to get out of line as much on the feature table. And that's sort of what I found playing these comps last year. I was on the feature quite a few times. That's sort of my take on things. Other people may have different perspectives, but from what tournaments I played last year on this circuit, that's kind of my feel for how things are while playing on the featured. So under the gun open here from Rich with the aces, folds all the way round to Ben in the big blind. And makes the call. With 3 deuce.
Flop of 8-8 Queen. Rich with the aces. Ben with the old 3 deuce. They all no low for the big blind.
And Rich with the delayed continuation takes that one down.
And Mitch, chip leader, 128,000. So the panel moves all in. 16.8 on the button. Ben's out of the way. And Richard Coles. Ben's not all in with 8-3. Richard is. Coles with the King Jack. Chris Paraskiva. He's get a little bit lucky. Ace 3-5 all hearts. He's got the Queen of Hearts and the redraw to the wheel. That'll do. Deuce of hearts to chop it. Oh, it's a 2. It is a 2. But the 4 hearts means a full double for Chris.
Oh my God. I don't want to come back with 16 games. I'll get knocked out, have 3 pints and play again tomorrow.
Gee, no, Ray.
I want it all in my Queen form.
2,200.
How are you, Ray? How are you doing?
So here's Jack, C7. King, like that name. We ended up with a flopper 9 Jack Queen. King in C7, Dan in C6, goes check, check. Flopped straight for Dan Corbett. Check, check again. When would we like to bet? When the board pairs and we could lose. Dan can't check again, surely.
Nah, I don't think he can check again now. I'm not.
Why does he know about on the turn?
I think on the turn he just expect King to sort of delay c-bet a lot of the time on this board texture, so then he can raise turn. But now the way this hand's played.
Well, the way this hand's played is folding ace jack. Oh no, we'll make the call. You see the straight, Dan Corbett, last year's champion, takes down the small pots. Last half an hour or so to go until the end of the day.
To win it again this year anyway. You won it last year, you can't have all. Mitch is winning it this year. Mitch's idea.
108 players have played the main event today. 31 players left.
I had a percentage of Zaki as well.
Got Nick Crisp who's come from the 2 in C1.
Ben folded to him in the cut-off, 15 big blinds, moves all in his queen 8. Action on king here in c7. Gonna fold. There's a right fold there with queen jack against a range of hands. We expect Ben to be shoving for 15 bigs. Queen jack just doesn't fare too well.
Mitch chip leader 127,000. Nick just comes to the table. There's 36 left, not 31. Don't know where I got the old 31 from. 36. Just a third of the field left from the original 108. To be fair, it's pretty high.
Yeah, it's usually between around a quarter, isn't it? With this extra level that's been incorporated into day ones this year. Playing 10 levels instead of 9.
Aces for Nick.
Just sits down at the table.
Easy game, this is.
Aces.
I ought to be on feature table more often.
Dan with pocket jacks here on the button. So the aces of Nick gonna get action.
Calls 2,500. Ace 4 folded. King 3 gets out of the way as well. So flop time. 6, 7, 8. Rainbow is the flop.
So Nick getting trappy here with the aces.
Now your attention please, got a seat open for YU, table 25, YU.
See a bet at 2.4 from Dan. Nick makes the call. 7 on the turn.
Interesting card, he brings a flush draw and a paired board as well.
No one should really have too much 7x here. Dan may have some 7x. He'll pill hands like 7-9 suited, 8-7 suited on the button. So it's a better card for Dan's range than it is Nicholas's. And Dan going to bet 6.2.
We move all in with the boots. After initial bet by Dan, the defending champ.
Now this is a pretty horrible spot here. You're loving your jacks once he's checked you on the flop and you bet and he just calls, and you're loving your jacks on this turn when you bet, but now you've been raised. It's basically a bluff catcher. You expect Nicholas to continue on the flop with hands like 9s and 10s. So, what is he representing here? Obviously, he's got the slow played monster pair in this spot, but it's whether Dan thinks he'd be capable of playing a hand like aces or kings this way. But then again, he can have hands like pocket 8s, pocket 6s. It's all dependent how wide he's perceived to be open in early position. And then for bluffs, hands like ace king suited, ace queen suited, which are hearts that peel the flop with ace high and just go crazy on a flush draw. But Nick doesn't look like the type of player to do that. We have the Jack of Hearts in our hands, so we do block some flush draw possibilities. So I have no idea what Dan's going to do here, guys. This is just a horrible spot.
It's a horrible spot, and he might just call with the big overpair. But as we can see, he is so far behind. Jay has said what's going through his mind.
And then maybe we can give Dan a hand, Nick a hand like A7 suited, which he would check call flop, and then he's made trips on the turn, so he just moves all in. There's only 2 combos of that, so we're clutching at straws here. But he's played it in such a deceptive way that Dan might just pay it off.
Clock, please. Feature.
Clock announced. The clock called for.
So this is a
tough spot.
Yeah, he should be taking some time with this one, Dan.
Yeah.
Some spots.
We've had a lot of discussions about shot clocks and stuff like that, but this is a tough decision. You don't very often get 3 or 4 minutes tanking, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's a big decision.
Who called clock?
I don't know.
I'm not a fan. This is a big decision near the end of the day
for
most of Dan's chips.
But the way the game is now, with shot clocks in every tournament apart from the GUKPT, then it's just one of those. And he made his decision. It's a great fold as well.
It's a good fold.
Good fold, Dan. Big fold as well.
Yeah, I like it. Like it a lot.
Big fold. So no hands have been announced just yet. We're heading towards the clock being paused. What's that?
So many people do that. You know what? I think 2 people watch it behind. Right, so you can't swap the vision. City's right, just keep getting tempted. When you set the Thursday,
yeah, we don't know. I don't even know cold clock, to be fair. Good night, Mum. Gail's on her way to bed. See you tomorrow, Gail.
Right, Mum. See you tomorrow. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
King on the button in the old ace-5. Raises to 2.2.
Wouldn't even mind seeing a flat here from Mitch. I know it's against a barn open, but I believe Jack behind, he's got around 15 bigs. It just induces him to jam a lot wider. He makes a quick fold after Mitch does elect. Okay, Jack didn't have 15 bigs, must have doubled up to 30k. So 3-bet a lot more clear and takes that one down.
A certain number of hands will be called very shortly. We both said 6, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because it always is.
Kings for David G.
There we go. Just the Cowboys, that's all. Raising it up. This folds 10-7, long folding round in turn. Oi, oi.
Wow.
This could be carnage.
It's a king in seat 7 with the ladies, but not the best hand. comes in for a 3-bet.
3-bet coming into 6.8. How big is the 4-bet?
So actually on Mitch here, Mitch isn't thinking about flatting once he's in the tank here. He's pretty much thinking about a cold 4, whether it's a good cold 4 spot or not with the 9-8 of diamonds. Never ever would he be flattening this spot. So see how he proceeds. He would have picked the worst possible time to do it if he does elect to go for the 4-bet bluff. But these cold 4s work a lot better when it's sort of late position versus late position dynamic rather than a UTG open. And
he likes to get out of the way.
After some deliberation, does fold. So now back on David. So both players 70 big blinds effective here, so could be looking at a monster pot. We're going to see how Dave proceeds. Obviously 2 options, got the flat option, he's got the 4-bet option.
Standing straight down the table.
In this particular spot, lean more towards 4-bet, just because we are out of position.
So 17.6. This would be an impressive fold. I don't think it is. I think it's a call to see a flop.
Again, 2.5 to 1 on the call here.
Yeah,
position.
He makes that call. 8, 5, 3, 2 clubs.
Dave to be like somewhere between like 9 and 14k here. That would be sort of the standard size on this board texture in a 4-bet pot.
9,300. That's perfect. 9.3. And the call. Well, David, we think he has an overpair too.
Yeah.
But because there's no 5-bet, it'll be not aces.
A lot of the time, David is pretty much giving King hands like 9s through queens here.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's going to have trapped aces, and when he has trapped aces, it was always meant to be. David was always meant to go broke, and you just say good game. But now the deuce rolls up on the turn. There's only one option. Yeah, that's played it fine here, David. It's
the lot is in.
and
King has 60,000 behind the line. Yeah. It's David all in effectively.
It's a tough spot for King.
So, twice big decisions with big overpairs.
Yeah, I think this one's more of a fold than the jacks was, and we did see Dan get out of the way, but I think this exact spot here becomes more of a clear fold, just because the way we played it. We can have aces here in this spot, calling the 4-bet in position, and we can have a lot of strong hands, lots of big overpairs. So you can never really give David credit for a bluff. Now is David going to 4-bet jacks pre-flop this late on in the day and play a bloated pot out of position with pocket jacks? I don't think so. So there's not really much that we are beating. David obviously he has aces, 6 combos, kings, 6 combos, and then maybe one hand we are in front of, ace king of clubs, only the 1 combo, but even then equity wise against that we're only around 65%. So this seems like a lot more clearer fold than the hand we saw earlier when we saw Dan fold the overpair. But just breaking the spot down, do a couple of factors. Is David ever 4-bet bluffing when someone 3-bets you're under the gun open? No, I don't think so. Is he ever 4-betting pocket jacks out of position? I don't think so. So, taking all them factors and components into account, I really think King is going to come to the right decision here and let the pocket queens go.
There'll be another clock being called very shortly.
Yeah, could well be.
It is another huge decision for King.
Long hard think here.
He makes a call. He makes the call with the queens. And David G has a chance to get up to around about 100,000. In fact, more. This is a huge pot. And it's called by King on the turn. The river is a deuce. David G is now up to 140,000 chips.
Down to 6k after the second hand of this session, and now probably one of the chip leaders in the room.
That is and has been and still is a session for David G, the passport winner. And the last 5 hands have been announced by Raj.
I've played a lot with David, and I've watched a lot of him play as well. And I just maybe King doesn't have the history that we do of how David plays, but I know it's so hard to fold queens there. And yes, we can see the cards, we can see that he's behind, but just look at the spot. 2 key components. I don't think David ever 4-bets jacks, 10s, them type of hands. And then I don't think he double barrels as a bluff with hands that he's given up with this late on in the day when he's only got 25k invested and still like 60k behind. So tough spot for King. Can't blame him for calling. Very hard to fold in the moment, but a huge pot for David there. Great pick up and put himself right in the driver's seat for day 2 come Saturday. We've got a number of hands left, chat. 5.
This is the first of 5. Not 10. The first of 5.
God, what a great end to the day, we've had. It's been
fantastic.
Just more of the same tomorrow, please, and we will be back tomorrow. 1:30 start here on stream. When you're running well, You're running well. David flopping 2 pair here against top pair. And Nick just passes top pair there. 6 solry.
It's the final call for Carl Stevens, 26 in the cartoon. That's Carl Stevenson to 26.
So the final 4. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks.
I'd like to say the last 4 hands of the evening. Go on then, Gary. Entertain us for the last 10 minutes. What you got to say, man? What you got to say?
Can all Omaha players please start making their way back to the card room. Tournament will resume in 2 minutes. All Omaha players back to the card room. Thank you.
Yeah, not that you haven't played for the last 10 years, but yeah, 1 o'clock.
Don't get it all the time. What time start? Oh, same time as every other leg.
Yeah. Charlie Denton will be ringing Andy up tomorrow, but tomorrow and say, what time is it? What starting stake? When can I lay, Reg? So the final 4 hands. Raise all in, says King, who's just lost with Queens, against King. And King's all in.
So a tongue twister tower.
Not getting any action. And the nut low, he plays a lot of Omaha, does ILO, does Chris Barrett. None of that. Last 3. The final 3. Back again tomorrow at 1:30 PM. Make sure you come and join us. What a great day we've had today. 109 Cowboys again. What's happening round here?
This time for Mitch.
Just premiums all the time.
Chips going to chips. Jack 7 deuce, rainbow. Mitch with the best of it still. Don't expect it to be hand over here. See Mitch continue. Should see Nick make a quick fold. And we'll be on to the next hand. So 2 to go. Just like that.
That'd be a bad day tomorrow.
Good to have Lauren back dealing.
Yeah,
I've spent 12 months travelling the entire world and loving life.
Yeah, lovely she's are.
I mean, Christmas over in the UK, going back home to Dublin, and then we'll be back on our travels again. That's the plan. Been on Killing Joke tour all week. Never really liked Killing Joke. Bit of punk's probably not my thing. But I think it's the final tour, isn't it? It's been going years. So the final 2. Makes it 22. 2.2.
So last hand coming up of the day.
So the last one of an entertaining day one here. David G's session by far.
Yeah, roller coaster. It's been on the Big Dipper.
What was his hand when he was all in?
What, when he was at
He had
Red?
6,000, didn't he?
Yeah, he had Ace Jack versus King Jack.
That's right, yes he did. Yeah.
You're crazy.
Raise all in, says King. With Queen Jack.
Now Ben, last hand of the day, does he want to take 15k through? Or does he want to have a spin?
He wants to have a spin. $30 bigs.
Oh, this is a sick one for King if he loses this and is left with 2k. Ooh, means, yeah.
Ooh, no, yeah. Just noticed that.
I've got 10,200. Do I actually cover this? You cover it, yeah. 10 turns. I'm going to win this, you'll come back 3k.
So off to the flop.
So it's either 30 bigs or back tomorrow for another entry. Queen. That does it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that seals it. Dead on the turn.
Ben wins it. Has been eliminated. The final hand of the day. And what a day it was. A cracking day we have had, and there are the chip counts.
David G, 162,000.
We got Mitch Johnson, in fact David G gone from 6,000 to 162,000.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Chip leader Mitch Johnson 136,700.
The elderly maniac, Andy Garland.
And we've not seen nothing of him, have we?
No, we haven't.
Not seen him in the room at all.
He's bagged up 130,000
Clive
chips.
Macy 110.
James Williams taken through 108,800 chips.
And the man on form, Mr. Andy Hills, is on 107,000 chips. It's a great stack, the top 5 stacks. But there we go. Facebook is Grosvenor Poker. Please come and join us on there for all social media. At Grosvenor Poker on Twitter. And also, everything we do is on YouTube, GUKPT, for everything and all the videos that the boys do. From myself,
and me,
the Tower, and my partner in crime, Jay Howard. Thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.